I'm not even going to do an intro for this video. I'm just going to jump into it because I want to get straight into, is Savage actually back? What is happening? I've now said Savage is coming back, isn't coming back, is coming back, isn't coming back, and I'm now saying he's coming back again. This time, guaranteed. Savage, Rezon, and Vidil are now trioing for not only this FNCS, the next one as well. So, what change? Did we all get April Fooled? Technically, but no. Rezon tweeted out saying, oh, April Fools, we're playing with Savage. You know, it wasn't April Fool's. Savage cleared it up on his stream. Basically, he said after stopping and thinking about it, he realized this was too good of an opportunity to pass up. He does want to grind the game again. He reached out to Rezon and Vidil, said, look, I'm down to play this season and next season. I'll be locked in. I'll be properly practicing. I'm going to at least close out 2025 taking Fortnite seriously. And with that, we now have Savage, Rezon, and Vidil. They are now playing trios together. They're going to compete in FNCS as long as they make it to Division 1 this week. But we had the first day of Division 2, and they've been absolutely dominating. So it's looking like it's almost guaranteed they're going to make Division 1. But they are back. I'm sorry if you thought I clickbaited. I was lying to you. I've been trying to give you guys the most up-to-date information. I even ruined my sleep schedule last night to make the video as up-to-date as possible. I went to sleep for 5 hours, woke up to stream, and basically everything was wrong. Everything changed. So for Savage, Vidil, and Rezon to make it out of Division 2 so they can play in FNCS next week, they need to get top 40 on EU between day 1 and day 2 combined. Day 1 is now done, and they're in 3rd place on 451 points. They dropped some absolute bombs. They had a 41 elim win, 21 elim win, 27 elim win, 21 elim win, and a whole bunch of other big games. So fair to say, they're absolutely dominating. It is Division 2, so we'll wait to see against Division 1 players, but I think it's showing this team obviously has massive potential. Some people are talking about MrSavage, oh, he might be a little bit rusty, give him time to warm up. He just 1v1 Clicks at his London event like last week and beat Clicks. I don't think Savage is rusty. I think they're going to be totally fine. Now, as far as drop spots, we don't really know what they're going to do because Vidil obviously has the most experience at Mars Meadows, same as Rezon, but we now already have Fredoxy versus Yanis at Mars Meadows on EU. We already talked about why Venom doesn't want to drop there. It's probably not a good idea for Vidil, Savage, and Rezon to drop there. So they are going to have to figure out a drop spot, but right now, it's looking good. They're all streaming. I think MrSavage peaked at over 20,000 viewers on Twitch. So the vibes are there. They're playing well. It's all looking good. A team that is currently not looking too good for is Ritual, Cold, and Peterbot over on NA. You might have seen Acorn's tweet, you know, clickbaiting a new trio. That didn't happen. That was an impression farm. Apparently, April Fool's is just going on for a whole month now. I hope it doesn't, but Peterbot's team is currently outside the top 50 after day 1. They got 308 points on day 1. Now, normally they wouldn't be this far down the leaderboard, but if you played NA, you know what happened. There was another weird bug during NA where a bunch of people couldn't play Fortnite. It didn't really affect NA Central too much because as long as you could see the current game mode, you could keep queuing up into it. It was only when you tried to change the game mode, it ended up meaning that West got delayed by like an hour and 15 minutes. But even though the tournament was running fine on NA Central, they decided to extend it by an hour. So Peterbot ran out of games with like 45 minutes left in the tournament regularly, but because they added an hour, qualification went higher and higher. So top 33 after day 1 ended up being 362 points, which is not that ridiculous. It's only like 55 points that Peterbot's behind by, but if Peterbot, Ritual, and Cold have the same day today for day 2 as what they had yesterday for day 1, they're not going to qualify. They had a couple big games. They had a 37 elim 2nd and a 26 elim 4th, but that's basically their only 2 games. Their average placement was a 19.60. So a pretty rough tournament. We'll see how they go. It would be weird to see Peterbot not make a finals. I know some people are looking forward to it so someone else can win, but with all these newly formed trios, I kind of want to see Peterbot in there. I'm totally fine for Peterbot not to win it. It would be extremely exciting for someone other than Peterbot to win it going into grand finals, but you kind of need Peterbot in there so when someone wins, people say they actually deserved it or they played really well. You know what I mean? Peterbot's kind of become the measure at which all the other teams are measured against because he is on a streak of, I think, 12 or 13 Cash Cup wins in a row at this point. So we'll see. A good day 2 is definitely possible for Peterbot. They've done it a bunch in the past, but it's not guaranteed just yet. Now, a team that is doing extremely well at the top of the leaderboard is one of our new trios. And now, I don't mean new trios like from a few days ago. I mean new trios as of literally yesterday. We have Muzz, Reed, and Cooper. I know you're thinking, Aussie, didn't you say it was Rapid, Reed, and Cooper? Yes, I did. And didn't you say it was Rise, Yapko, and Muzz? Yes, I did. It's already changing again. So I'll give you the rundown. So what's happened now is we now have Rise, Curly, and Yapko. But Rise has said he's only trying out Curly for this week to see if Curly can do better than Muzz and add some firepower to their team that I don't think they really needed. Muzz, Rise, and Yapko have been doing really, really well, but they popped Curly in there. If they do well, I guess they're going to play FNCS. If they don't, Muzz is going to jump back into the team, which is just insane. I know, trust me, I'm with you. I'm getting as frustrated as everyone else at this point. When there was big snakings because there was huge team drama going on, or teammates hated each other, or there was a big upgrade potential, now it just feels like we're chopping and changing teams to just end up in such a similar position. Even if they are better or slightly better, it just doesn't feel like they're ever going to be better enough to be worth ruining all the chemistry and vibes they're building. Like, the one team that seems like it's really challenging Peterbot and Acorn's teams right now is Clix, Eomzo, and Higgs, because they're sticking together. Did I think Clix, Eomzo, and Higgs were as good as Peterbot's team at the start of last season? No, but they've been stuck together. They're grinding. They're building up the chemistry. They have now locked down a good drop spot. And I think a lot of that comes to the fact that they're not getting involved in all these snakings, not trying to make little upgrades to try to make their team a little bit better. I have to trust these pros know what's best for them. I usually say, like, we can't judge from the outside in because, you know, there might be vibes or things going on that we can't see. But at this point, it's just starting to get ridiculous. So Muzz, Reed, and Cooper is now a trio because it was supposed to be Rapid, Reed, and Cooper, which I talked about yesterday. But we've now got Booga, Rapid, and Threads. And now there's a weird thing about that for a couple reasons. Firstly, Booga's supposed to be playing with Craze, but as I've talked about, he's got prom in his SAT, so Craze can't play this week. But why would Rapid drop his team of Reed and Cooper to go play with Booga unless he has a chance to actually play with him for FNCS? Booga said that he has no intention of dropping Craze. He's just playing with Rapid for a fill, but that would make no sense for Rapid to take that risk 1 week out from FNCS when he already had a trio, unless he has some way of knowing that he can play on that trio if they do well. So I spoke to Craze about this in my Twitch stream. He said, you know, it is what it is, which means he's kind of seeing it coming. I guess it depends on how well Booga, Threats, and Rapid actually do. The second thing is, isn't that 2 IGLs? And yes, Rapid and Booga are both IGLs. Apparently, Rapid wants to go back or go to being a fragger. I've never actually known Rapid to play as a fragger, but he wants to start doing it now, so it looks like Booga's going to be IGLing that team. But there's so many good fraggers looking for trios right now. I don't know why Rapid would choose now to stop IGLing. Like, when you have Muzz, Reed, Cooper, Curly, all these players looking for teammates, Craze, they're all looking amazing. I don't think you need to jump into a fragger role. So I guess we'll find out. We'll see what happens. But right now, Muzz, Reed, and Cooper are looking phenomenal. Reed has been IGLing for that trio. I guess we have to see what happens with Rise, for whether Muzz stays on that team. Maybe if Muzz goes back with Rise, they pick up Curly, or Craze goes back. At this point, I don't really know. The word trio has lost all meaning. If you see a team playing together, just assume that's the team for now, but it could change at literally any moment. The leaderboard was mostly full of a lot of the new trios. We had Dash, Bryce, and Vera new trio, Kanata, Bolt, and Sphinx. We had Snetto, Donnie, and Sales, Yapko, Curly, and Rise, Rapid, Booga, Threat. So a lot of the teams are finding the success playing as a new trio. This will often happen in these open qualifiers though, because the new teams will try really, really hard to try to, you know, impress each other and keep the vibes up and prove what they've got and start to get their practice in, where a lot of the established teams will take it a little bit easier, knowing it's a 2-day qualification. That could lead to issues for teams like Pete, who maybe take it a little bit too easy, but we'll see. We had Clix's team up there in 8th place overall. We had Bucky, Okus, and Cam. Yes, Flu, Cam, Slam. So Bucky's really bringing Cam back out for this one. Really excited to see how they go. They're currently in 13th. We had a bunch of EU teams doing really well. Queasy in 14th, Pablo in 19th. But again, it is just day one of the qualifiers. Now, over onto EU, it was a very, very stacked tournament as well. EU was extremely fun. We didn't get quite to see Savage playing in Div 1, but a big team we got to see in Div 1 was Mongrel. Now, Mongrel was talking, if you guys saw the clip from my video yesterday, about having a few options. His first option was to play with, you know, teammates that weren't really up to, you know, maybe his community standards, who they'd be surprised to see him play with. It was kind of like alluding to playing with, you know, some pretty terrible players. He ended up queuing with Focus and Zandy, 2 really, really solid players, and they were off to a really good start. They managed to get a 1st, 7th, 2nd, 17th, and then a 4th in their first 5 games. So they were in the top 10 after their first 5 games. Unfortunately, towards the end, they started to drop off a little bit. They got a 27th, 25th, and 11th in their last 3 games, but they're currently in 46. They got 305 points. Tomorrow, they're probably going to need, today, they're going to need to get about 350, 360 points. So it's very doable. We could see Mongrel in the finals. This trio is looking really, really good, so I'm super excited to see how Mongrel goes. Obviously, with Savage back, not playing with Mongrel now, I didn't know where he was going to end up, but things are looking really, really good. Now, another team, Vico Veno Flixie, our FNCS champs, out of Lone Wolf Land now, doing really well, first place overall. It is worth mentioning Malabuka, the team that they're obviously going to be contesting in finals, is in 69th. Malabuka only getting 273 points on day one, so we might actually see Veno with uncontested Lone Wolf in the finals if Malabuka doesn't pick up the pace. Another new trio with a lot of excitement around them, Shark, Noah Riley, and Trulex. You take a hard IGL, put him with, you know, the future, or currently what people are saying is going to be the future best player in the game, Shark. Put him with Noah, who's been a GOAT since Chapter 2. They're looking really solid. We have Thomas, Uppel, and Panzer in third, Artskill, Podesai next, Sweezy, and then Della, Axeforce, and Bevies in fifth. So again, it's only the first day of qualifiers. I don't normally make videos after day one, but I feel like there was so much going on. There were so many new teams I had to cover and fix up because a lot of you guys were confused. I wanted to make another video. And again, I saw people in the comments like, Aussie, you need to wait to make your video so you have all the information. Every video I've been making is me having all the information as I have it right now. I make the videos, I then go to bed. We upload them maybe like 3 or 4 hours after I go to bed. There is just so much changing so quickly right now. The videos could never fully be up to date. So I'm sorry if you guys thought I clickbaited you, I rushed the video out. I really didn't. It's just everything is moving so fast right now. I'm doing my best to update it. I'll always reply down below and pin comments of anything I get wrong to fix it up, but there is just so much happening right now. I kind of have to post the video, and that's just what happened at that moment in time.